Right. So trig identities can quickly become very confusing and very complex. So here what we want to do is we looked at the basic ones, okay? And so now we have to dive in a little bit deeper, but carefully, okay? So the first step to advancing from what we've known now, the tangent, the inverse, Pythagorean, and the other identities, is to start by knowing the sum and difference identities. Then you build on everything from these. So these are like things that you have to know without negotiation. Okay, you can know how to maybe work them out, but I think most teachers will teach you from here and then expanding from there. So what are we saying? We always start with sine usually, okay? So we're saying sine A plus B is equal to sine A cos B plus cos A sine B. So notice the change in the signs here. Otherwise, if it was sine A cos B, we would have had 2 sine A cos B here. But the difference is that the angles are different on the different functions here, right? So the other one, remember these are sum and difference identities. So we are talking about this, right? So we're adding the angles or subtracting the angles here. So here we're going to have sine A, same, cos B, right? Minus sine A, cos A, actually. Cos A, sine B. Okay, just to maintain the angles. The angle is here, the angle is there. We maintain it here, we maintain it there, just changing the functions. It's easier to look at it that way. Then we can have the cosine function, sum and difference. So here we're going to have cos, okay, this is the sum. Notice that we have cos, cos, and then sine, sine, right? And the other major thing is that if you have a positive here, you're going to have a negative there for the cosine sum or difference. So here minus b is equal to cos A cos B. Then we're going to take away, we're going to add actually sine A sine B, right? So notice the difference here. If you have positive here, you have negative there. If you have negative here, you have positive there. But then again, the most important thing is to notice that these are same for cosine, but different for sine. You'll notice that. Right, so these have to be known in terms of how they just are. And then we go to tangent. Tangent, what happens with the tangent? What happens with the tangent here is that we form it from these here. Now, remember here I'm saying A plus B, meaning that I'll get this one and I'll get that one and create tangent. Now, remember we said that tan theta is equal to sine theta over cos theta, right? So we can say sine A plus B over cos A plus B. And then if we have this and that on the other side, right, it will end up giving us this function here. So it's like we are simplifying that that identity. Okay, so the division of this one and that one simplified becomes this one. So this is not the primary identity, but it's something that you derive from dividing this one and that one, right? So that's when it's addition. And then when it's subtraction, notice the change, tan A minus B. So this you have to know, right? So we're going to have tan A like that. Notice that. Notice the change. This was positive, right? And so it gave us a positive here. This is negative. It's giving us a negative here. And what happens now when we're dividing? It will have 1 plus tan A can be. So that we have to know, right? So you'll notice here, this was negative here, so we have negative, and then we have positive here. This was positive here, we have positive here, and then we have negative here. So the structure of these three help us to advance from the basic identities. So we need to take time, understand these deeply. All right, so now we proceed to the next stage.